and then it's getting. Then regarding the MT5, I am almost done setting up the broker and every single thing. I'm going to actually drop the link to the broker. Um, I'm going to actually drop the sign up what do you call it, links to the broker before Friday, or on Friday actually. On Friday actually. Then over the weekend, I'm going to actually I'm going to drop a training talking about how we are going to be trading MT5 in the month of August. Yeah, so this AUD card is a good one. You can see here one, here two, here one, here two, here three. So we're waiting for the fourth one. That's for the AUD card. So let me quickly go through the market to see if there's any setup I'm going to analyze on this session and call out. If there's anyone I call out, if there's none, I don't call out anyone, any additional one. Then after I'm done doing that, I'll go back to the class and continue from where I stopped on the 6 a.m. session. So in the 6 a.m. session, I was talking about some very important thing regarding trading plan. And it was a broad topic, so we couldn't finish everything. I think I stopped at the point where I was talking about what to do during a drawdown. Now, most traders don't understand how um most traders don't understand how this thing really works. Okay. Most traders don't actually understand how this thing works. And yes, getting a strategy is a very, very sweet thing. Anybody can do that. Anybody with a specific amount of information or knowledge rather can can do that. But the problem when it comes to trading is the market is very dynamic and it changes, it has phases. Okay, so because of that, the markets do not do the same thing every single time. So a pattern that is constantly repeating, like if you can see this AUD card now, what we used to get 100% accuracy here, you can see to one, two, three, four. If it comes, you're going to react very, very well. Probably even clear for MT5 self. All right. Same thing we did for GPCHF. This same thing we are doing right now. You're going to see if you're actually going to be with us long enough, you will make lots of money with it. Probably it may keep working for the next 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. I don't know. But then at a particular point, this thing that we are doing right now, exactly this same thing, every single thing, not we're not changing anything. As we are doing like this, now, all of a sudden it will just stop working. It will just stop working. The accuracy we are having last week, we had 100% accuracy, right? This week, if we are taking out the whole trades, we are going to be on the 3-0, which is still 100% accuracy. And even with just the one trade we have taken, we are still on the 100% accuracy. That's not 100% accuracy, right? One, two, three. Okay. And you just see when that time comes, the accuracy, which usually is actually something within 75% to 100%. I'm going to actually put it at a monthly accuracy of like it's something percent. It's let's say 80%. All right. So this thing that is actually giving an average of like 75, 80% accuracy at the end of the month, you just notice that all of a sudden the accuracy will just drop to maybe something like maybe 40% or 50 on HFX. And that is where the last part of the trading plan training, right, comes into play, which is what to do when the strategy stops working, right? What to do in periods of drawdown, because definitely it's not avoidable. No strategy in Forex will work forever. If it's actually a strategy if it's actually an intraday strategy, which is a strategy that relies on smaller time frames, 5 minutes, 10 and 15 minutes, short, quick scalps, 5 pips stop loss, 15 pips TP or 20 pips TP, stuff like that. Right? Those strategies probably would maybe take a couple of months and stop working. There is something that actually relies on swing trading. Swing trading is when you're working with a higher time frame. So let's say you're looking at like maybe the 4 hour time frame, maybe the 1 hour time frame, or maybe the let's say daily time frame. People trade on the daily time frame. Stop loss will be very large. Stop loss can be like maybe 100 pips self. TP can be like maybe 800. No, no, yeah, yeah. Stop loss can be 100 pips. TP can be like 800 pips. They can be looking for the market to move from a particular region to another region. You know, spreads will be so negligible, right? Because the amount of pips they are catching is so big, all right? So those type of strategies now can last for a year or even 2 years self. But those ones, now, just like I see we are seeing trades now in a day, we are seeing like maybe three trades or two trades. This type of strategies now, you may only see three trades a month, or just two, or just four. You get, and those ones tend to last longer. But the market being the market, at some point, those things will still stop working. That's just how it is. Yes, HF is looking good. So now with most traders now, why they are fighting discipline, they are fighting being disciplined enough to stick to their trading plan so they can actually get the best results. Okay. Some other traders, when they are done beating that discipline, and then they are disciplined enough to take all the trades that the strategy actually gives them, that period actually is when the market now will now be changing from this to that. So maybe they will just something that they are meant to be trading for like maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. They are meant to make a lot of money. They are actually battling, over leveraging, battling, this, that, and everything. So the moment they're now done fighting their demons and they have now conquered demons, that period now, the market now is almost done, behaving that way. So they'll probably maybe just have like maybe 2 more weeks of trading the market and making money. Then after that, everything will just switch. And then when everything now switch, they don't know how to react because this thing was working for a long time now. I was person that was actually battling indiscipline. I was person that was missing setups. I was person that was actually like closing my trades on time. But I was always seeing these things. These things was always thinking, what was happening, what was happening, what was happening. And the what's happening, what's happening, what's happening. That's when they were gonna start over leveraging, over leveraging, over leveraging. And before you know it, boom, account have clear. You get so now it's not like, yes, I saw this thing, yes, I knew this thing worked for a while, but when it stopped working, I lost it all. So that is why this trading plan training is very, very important because I'm going to actually explain it to you so you know, and then I'm also going to explain to you what to do when it stops working. And I'm also going to explain to you now how you should actually look at the market. All right, because some persons now they have something that is working very well. They will demonstrate that thing for like 2 months, 3 months, they see demonstrate. And then I'm like, and then I'm like, what's up? You're like, coach, I had this strategy that's been working very, very well. I've done it for 2 months now on demo, and I'll be like, why? Like, why are you doing it for 2 months on demo? Like, what's the point of doing it for 2 months on demo? You think this is going to work forever? Hmm. Do you understand? So that is just the reason. So the way to actually approach the market is just look at it as these things are not going to work forever, just for a while, and then they'll stop. Just for a while, and then they'll stop. So now you now as a trader, now I don't see any new setup actually. You know as a trader now, your own is to spot this pattern, spot this repetition, spot those things that are working, that are repeating itself, and take advantage of it till it stops working. All right. And the moment it stops working, be smart enough to know that this thing has stopped working. So you can stop trading after a certain drawdown. All right. and move back to your demo to try to find a new edge, or move back to your demo and keep observing the strategy till that old edge resumes working. So let me, let me, since we're not saying new setup, GPM, USDCHF is about forming a trade, all right? But it's still far from what we are getting. I'm so sorry, my network spiked me out. I don't know, and actually I shared my screen somehow. So I've shared my screen back. So let me look for it. And this is one of the reasons why um people that really understand these concepts, all right, they are very, very, very patient with the market. You understand? They're very, very patient with the market. All right. And once they see something with the market, they understand fully well that it's more like a timer. You have a timer. So let's say, for example, now I've been observing the market since everything has been looking chaotic. And all of a sudden, I just spot something that keeps repeating itself, a pattern that keeps repeating itself. It can be anything. All right. Now I have myself a strategy. I've done the whole plan. I've backtested. I know the stop loss I'm going to be using. I know the take profit. I know everything. All right. Now, the moment I do this thing for on demo for a week, and then I get something similar to my um to what I backtested on, that is the go ahead I need to start doing it on my live account. All right. So as I gotten that thing now, I'm sure, okay, yes, maybe I had like maybe 50% accuracy or 70% accuracy on my backtesting or so. And then I did it on demo for 1 week. And then I had that same 70 or 80%. Now that shows that I did everything well and I didn't make any mistake when I was backtesting. So as I've done it like that, next thing I'm going to do now is to move to my live account. All right. And start trading. Move to my live account and start trading. All right. So now, as I move to my live account and I start trading, now there's this particular problem that people usually used to have, and that is they don't know when the strategy stops working. They don't know when the strategy stops working. And the thing is that if you don't know when the strategy stops working, okay, you can lose more than you are meant to lose, or more than you can actually afford to lose. And that's why there is always meant to be what we call a maximum drawdown. So let's assume I'm risking 2% per trade, right? My maximum drawdown can be 20%. This is still trade plan. Yeah, I've talked about entry, I've talked about exit, I've talked about pips, how to manage positions, trading time, all of those things. Now, maximum drawdown. So my maximum drawdown now can be 20%. Now, as a trader, if I start trading, let's assume I have this strategy, all right, and it works for 6 months. Yeah, it can work for 6 months. Okay. So within that 6 months now, let's say I started with $200. Let's say I started with $200. Okay. Now within that 6 months now, the first month, I grew this money to, let's say I was making 50% every single month. So first month, I agree with this to 300. Second month, I agree with this to 450, which we're actually about. We are very close to actually doing this now like this. We are very close to doing the first month with our compounding challenge. All right. Then the next month, because I'm making 50% every single month on an average. The next month now, I grow this 450 to 675. 6 months. The strategy worked for 6 months. Then the fourth month, I grew this 675 to 1,000. Then the fifth month, 1,000, one, to about 1,005. Then the sixth month rather, I grew the 1,005. Okay. So 2,250. So all I was just making, okay, was just 50% profit per month. 50% profit per month. And in order to actually make 50% profit per month, this is just, we divide it by 4. This is just 12.5% profit per week. Per week. Okay. And then if you're risking 2% on your account per trade, if you're doing MT5, let's say 1:4, if you risk 2% and you get one win, one TP, that will give you 8% profit. All right. So in MT5, with just two trades, you already hit your weekly target. But in HFX now, if you're risking 2%, payouts is maybe like around 1.7%. If you take 10 trades in a week, you can easily make your 12%. You understand? So this is just like very simple, just 12% a week if you're risking 2%. You understand? So you can easily grow from this to this if you can stick to the discipline. All right. But then when this thing stops working, what do you do? Some persons can lose this entire money due to frustration. I've had situations like that in the past. And some other persons will stick to their plan. So now, maximum drawdown, remember, is 20%. So at any point in time, let's say when you agree to this particular point, you start losing trades. All right. Remember, for you to lose 20%, you need to lose 10 trades in a row without winning anyone. If you're risking 2% per trade. And 20% of these 2,250 times 0.2 is $450. Mm. 1,008, I think, is about 2 point something million or thereabout. So that means the maximum amount you can lose should the strategy stop working is $450. Are you seeing this? So now you already have this at the back of your mind. At no point in time should you lose more than 20% of your start of your balance. It's just like how it is with funded challenges. You know how funded challenge actually is now. You cannot lose more than a certain percentage of your funded challenge and all of those things. All right. That is also how this thing is. So now, because of this drawdown rule, all right, you can never blow your account. All right. Because if you keep trading this account, and let's assume you keep trading this account, let's assume you build this account to $20,000. Let's assume this was 22,000 something dollars. Let's assume. That means the maximum you can do is going to be $4,500. And if you lose that $4,500, you still have $18,000. That's more like, look at it as like a kill switch. As a kill switch. Should the market stop moving this way, I have that kill switch. Do you understand? I have that thing I can just go and just boom off it. And that is what the maximum drawdown actually is here with your trading plan. It should be included there. It should be included there. Now, the next question now is, what should I do when I hit my maximum drawdown? What should I do when I hit my maximum drawdown? I firmly believe that when it comes to trading, at every point in time, there is always a strategy that works. Okay. So if this strategy stops working at this moment, there's actually another strategy that is actually working at that particular moment. Do you understand? Okay. So you've been doing this thing for a while, maybe Zonda, you've made so much money, you've grown your account to this level, and then it stopped working. I'm very, very honest and very brutally honest with my students because initially, when I was actually trading and teaching, I don't used to talk about this thing here. I don't talk about it. I had a student, he learned his own that strategy and all. He grew his account to from I think $50 or thereabout, so about 1,400 or so. I was very happy with him. He did this thing within like 4 months, right? And the way I do these things here, I don't teach you to remain in the academy for life. I teach you to be independent. So if you choose to remain, it's your personal choice. If you choose to leave. So after like 2 months, he was good, right? He even had a training himself with the students. I made him have a training with them. He taught his own that strategy on live session, like this, on a good live session like this. He was the only person that actually taught throughout the session. All right, with them and everything. After 2 months, he left and he was trading on his own. Built the account from like 50 to like about 1,600 or so. Now, remember, when it comes to compounding, it's a ladder you're climbing. All right. So you're climbing. Remember, see, it's still a ladder you're climbing. So the fact that he got 1,500 something from like 15, he was climbing the ladder. He was going in small, small. Okay. Then something happened and the strategy stopped working for that period. I noticed it stopped working, all right? And I stopped calling out trades on Go Live during that period. And later I got another strategy actually, I think like 1 month after or thereabout. But he did not know how to react when this thing happened. And one day he just called me and I was like, coach, I was like, how far are you doing now? How far your account done? You don't reach 10K already. I was like, coach, no, you know, reach 10K. I said, what happened? He said, I blew him. I said, how? He said, the team, you know, they work and this thing. I was like, Jesus. Right. So that's why I teach this particular topic. Right. Because if I had taught this thing, he would have actually reacted better and he wouldn't have lost the entire money. Right. So that is just basically that about that. Okay. So what do you do when your account or once the strategy stops working the way it was actually working before? I've actually talked about maximum drawdown. All right. So now is what to do in a losing streak. But the strategy to stop working. All right. You have actually been on a losing streak. You've been losing a couple of trades back to back to back to back to back to back. Now, every trader trade live and demo. There's no dishonor in trading them. I trade demo sometimes. I do trade demo sometimes. Once I've backtested something and it's working very, very well, and I've written down all the plan and everything, I've structured everything. I trade demo for a while, a week or max 2 weeks. I don't go and do demo for 1 month, 2 months, no, for a week or 2 weeks max. Then I go my straight to my live account. So knowing how to switch, how and when to switch from live to demo, all right, and from demo to live is what would make you consistent in trading. It's what to make you to grow from this to the. I compared my account when I started trading first from 250 to about 10,000 plus or thereabouts. Then there used to be rollover. Rollover, you can roll over if roll over if you have your trade 5 minutes, if you roll over, you have 10 minutes extra. If you roll over again, you have 20 minutes extra. If you roll over again, you have 40 minutes extra for just 30% additional. So when the broker took away that rollover from their platform, the edge started suffering because I was not actually able to roll over trades to give me additional time. And then I stopped. I started withdrawing my money small, small. Then I got a new strategy too, and I started trading again on pocket options because that broker started giving issues with withdrawals at some point. You understand? So knowing when to switch from live to demo and from demo back to live is what's actually going to make it consistent. Now, the moment you hit, and this is why you need to journal your trades very, very well on your trading journal. All right. Because the trading journal now, it has a section where you writing down the trades you're taking. One, that is a section where you're writing down the result of the trades you're taking. Was the trade a win? Was it a loss? Was it TP? Was it stop loss? Was it break even? What was it? Write it down there with the currency pair. And that section they give where you actually write down additional notes. All right. If you lost the trade, was it something that you did? Was it an error by you? You write it down there. Was it something that just happened in the market that you don't know it should happen before? Right? It can be a breaking news. You maybe did not know there was anything like breaking news before, but that thing was actually breaking news. Trump just came and just imposed tariff on everybody, and the trade went hit your stop loss. Two trades hit stop loss. Right? That's not your fault. Write it down there. Right? So because all those things are right now in your journal now are more like you're listing down your experience. Okay? You're listing down your experience at a point where you start doubting yourself. You look at your journal, you say, oh, this thing was giving 80%, 90% accuracy in some weeks. You understand? You need to boost your morale. One. Number two, those notes you're writing down, you'll be able to actually go back to those notes to read them, to learn the reasons behind some of your losses, which is going to actually help you adapt your strategy better. Two. Number three, once your accuracy reduces, you'll be able to actually see it. So for example, now this is actually a graph of how your accuracy has been. It was 90%. It was next week it was 86, next week it was 81, next week it was 85, next week it was 77, next week it was 80, 89, next week it was 82. You understand? Then all of a sudden it just dropped to 60. Then it dropped back to 50. Then it went back to 62. Do you see this? You see this? This shows something has changed. Do you understand? So without the trading journal now, you will not be able to actually see the graph and see how your accuracy is moving. Because at the end of every single week, you're meant to actually write down your accuracy. If you're trading HFX, you get. So the moment you notice, if let's say you've hit your drawdown, from hitting your drawdown, now your accuracy that week, first of all, dropped to 60 something. Then the next week, it dropped to 55. Then next week, now got to 68. But within these 3 weeks now, was when you hit your drawdown, right? So what do you do now? You move from live to demo with that strategy. So now you continue training the strategy, oh, but now you're not going to be training the strategy on live anymore. You'll be training the strategy on demo. Why will you keep training strategy? Because there's what they call seasonality tendencies. Today is working, 2 months' time, it may not be working. All right. It may resume working at some point. You understand? Even if you're maybe not trading it actively, but occasionally at the end of the week, you can come and back test on it to see how the strategy performed that particular week. That way now you'll be able to actually observe. Maybe after this now you move from live to demo, you're not trading on demo, you're not observing the accuracy, still dancing around this range. You're still trading the same way you used to trade normally, but now you're not trading on live, you're trading on demo. You're recording in your journal what you're getting. You're recording it. So you're seeing how it's going, everything. All right. You will keep doing this thing till one, you get you till the strategy becomes accurate back or till you get a new strategy. Okay? Till your accuracy becomes till the strategy becomes accurate back. Say accuracy jumps from that 70% back to like maybe it's something or so, or 70 something, or 90 something. Do that for like 2 weeks, you're sure it's back. Then you now move back from. So look at this is what the graph is going to look like. After like let's say 3 weeks or 1 month, it goes back to this. So you see, this 1 week, this and that week. So you now go back to your live account and you now start making this thing, this thing, this thing. Hope you understand. Go back to your live account. The first week, if you can even recover from your drawdown and continue. Or if the strategy does not become accurate back, you can still see a new strategy. Because remember, as a forex trader, not only are you trading, you're also constantly studying and backtesting. So it may not be this strategy, it may be a new strategy that you get. All right. I've developed over 6 different strategies in my 6 years of trading. All right. At different points in time. There's this one that works very, very well during festive period. When it comes to festive period, I just enter it like this is strategy I'm keep throughout that festive period. Right. From November to January, like 14th or thereabouts. So you get a new so once you get a new strategy now, you're trading it. Once you get a new strategy, you've backtested, you've created your trading plan, every single thing based on the new strategy. Every single thing based on the new strategy. Okay. You've created everything based on new strategy. Then you will now go and do this thing. You've created everything based on new strategy, then you will now go and continue on your live accounts. Do you understand? So that is basically how the strategy actually works. And that's how you actually move from one phase to another in trading. Okay, do you have any questions? So if you actually have any question, what we are going to do now is that on the next Go Live session, I'm going to want everybody to go through these recordings. All right. So on the next Go Live session, you will now actually ask questions based on what I taught on these sessions. Do you understand? You understand? Based on what I taught on this session. All right. So based on what I actually taught on this session, ba- based on what I taught on this session, you're actually going to ask questions. So I'm going to drop the recording of the 6 a.m. Go Live session. What's up now? And the recording of the 11 a.m. Go Live session on the group chat. Okay. So you take your time to watch the first one and you take your time to watch the second one. Now, I understand very well that some person has wow. I also understand very well too that some persons actually have some strategies I've actually used before. Okay. But now this is what people don't talk about. This is what people don't actually teach you. This is actually what makes traders consistent on the long run. Trading is not a a what they call it, not a sprint, it's a marathon. Okay. You're looking at a career. You know what it means to do to be on a career path. If you're trying to learn how to trade, how to be a footballer, you start from maybe you start from which club am I going to use? Try give me one small club like that. Southampton. No, we start from probably Sporting Lisbon. All right. So when you start from Sporting Lisbon, then Southampton will come and sign you. Okay. You start from Sporting Lisbon, then after you've played for Sporting Lisbon for a while, then what they call it? Um Dortmund is going to come and sign you. You understand? So you started from Sporting here. Then Dortmund signed you. Then after Dortmund signed you, um, Tottenham came to sign you from Dortmund. Then after Tottenham, then Madrid came to come and sign you. That's how it actually works. So these are going to be climbing your journey. But at some point, you're right, you're going to hit a point where you're going to come down a little bit in trading. And this is what's going to save you when you get to those particular points. All right. So that's basically the session. Thank you very much for joining and see you guys on the next Go Live session. Have a lovely day. Bye. Have a very, very lovely day. Bye.